are you? I hope you are practicing accounts well. Now we are going to start with a new chapter today, redemption of debentures. Redemption meaning repayment. When you issue debentures, you get money from the debenture holders. Obviously it's a loan, it's a borrowing, something which is a borrowing, you have to repay, right? Now there are various things to know as to how the company is, mandatory, how it is mandatory for the company to follow certain rules and regulations while it is in the process of redemption of debentures. Now debentures can be taken for a period of 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, whatever, right? They can be redeemed in lump sum or in installments, lump sum meaning all together whatever you have, or in parts so that you do not have the burden of repaying everything together, right? Now, from where will the company get funds to repay the debentures? पैसे कहाँ से आएंगे? Of course, there are various sources of debentures, right? Now, sources of redemption of debentures, when we come to, we can redeem out of the capital, meaning debenture that we had taken the loan. That same amount I am paying back, right? So that is the investment in the business that I am taking back out and giving it to the debenture holders, right? That is one option. Or you might decide that, okay, I have invested certain amount, I generate profits. From that profits, I will redeem the debentures. So when we are talking about sources, it can be out of capital or out of profits of the business, or you can combine both the things, partly out of capital and partly out of profits in a certain ratio. Clear? Now these are the different sources. पैसे आ रहे हैं यहाँ से, we are giving it to the debenture holders. Clear till here? Now, how to go about it? What are the legal requirements laid down by the Companies Act, Securities Exchange Board of India? So these things have to be kept in mind. Now tell me, if I am suppose redeeming out of capital, of course I do not have to create a reserve for that. Whatever is capital investment there, I just pull it out from there and pay it. But if I have to redeem out of profits, profits are shown in my statement of profit and loss account. Yes, we determine profit every year. After that, if we have a profit, yes, if we earn profits, then we can appropriate it towards the redemption of debentures. So, over the years, होता है एक साल में करना मुश्किल है because profits are not that huge that you can repay the whole of debentures out of it. So you need to create it over the years, just before you start redemption. Meaning, suppose today is 31st March 2019. Okay, and you need to redeem the debentures in the coming year, meaning 1920. Alright, you need to be ready with your debenture redemption reserve. There are certain requirements for debenture redemption reserve. This is a reserve which is created out of profits of the business to redeem debentures, to set aside the amounts, meaning profits, to redeem debentures. Okay, so this is a specific reserve. This cannot be used for any other purpose. तो उसमें जो पैसा अलग रख दिया है वो सिर्फ redemption के लिए यूज कर सकते हैं. But how do we create a DRR? जैसे कोई भी दूसरा रिजर्व क्रिएट करते हैं out of profits, meaning we debit the statement of profit and loss and we credit the reserve. So what will be the journal entry for this? For creating DRR is statement of PL debit to debenture redemption reserve. Bas, DRR created, right? You have taken out your profits from the year and you have put it aside. Okay, इसको रख दो, इसको काम आएगा, we'll use it at the time of redemption. Simple, yes. Now coming to how much DRR to be created. What is the amount? Now, if I tell you how much to create DRR, okay? How much? It's very simple to understand. Suppose your debentures are of 1 lakh, okay? Meaning total debentures to be redeemed, total debentures issued is 1 lakh in your books, fine? So if at all, if it is 1 lakh, you need to create at least, I'm saying at least, you can create more than that also, at least 10% of 1 lakh. What is 1 lakh? The nominal value of debentures outstanding. Outstanding meaning that you have issued. Alright? The entire thing you need to pay. So 10% is the minimum amount that is to be transferred to DRR in all before you start redemption. Okay? So you can spread it out. Maybe you created a certain part, 3% of it you created in year 1, 17 May. 18 May you are creating another 4%. 19 May we have created the remaining 3% also, and then I am ready with 10% of the nominal value of debentures here. Alright? When do I have to create this? This should be done, ready, before redemption. Anytime. We can do it anytime before redemption. Alright? So what have we learned till now? We need to create a debenture redemption reserve when we decide that we need to touch the profits of the company. Profits में से निकाल के देना है. Of course, it is a very nice option. You are creating, you are not disturbing the capital invested in your company, isn't it? And if you are giving away this out of your profits, your dividend that you need to pay to your equity shareholders also, goes down. So here we have learned that if we are creating DRR, then this is the entry, statement of PL to DRR, and we are supposed to create at least 10% of 1 lakh. That is the nominal value. Okay, 1 lakh is just the example here. 10% of the nominal value of the total debentures outstanding. Okay, not just what you have to repay immediately. Okay, whatever is the total amount of debentures, उसका 10% बनाना ही पड़ेगा. Simple. Now I have been telling if you have to make. इसमें option है क्या? है, बिल्कुल है. But not all companies have the option. Some companies are exempted, okay, from the rule. This is the rule to create DRR. All companies have to create DRR. Now that rule has changed. Okay. One more thing I would like to highlight here is that this 10% that I am saying was earlier 25%, meaning till last year. So in many books which are not updated or the older versions, you will see 25% DRR. Do not get confused, children. This is the new thing, 10%. So this has been scrapped. The level of DRR to be created has been brought down by the government. Okay, clear till here? Next is coming to which companies do not have to make DRR, and we're just talking about DRR right now. Alright, companies exempted. All India financial institutions regulated by RBI. Now, of course, there are many financial institutions providing loan and source of capital to the various companies, okay, in the industries. So those companies will not be required to create DRR. They straight away can do the redemption. Go ahead with the redemption. DRR requirement applicable nahi hai. Similarly, for banking companies, all banks are exempt from DRR. So अगर सब में दिया हुआ है banking company है, इसको redeem करना है debentures, you don't have to pass that entry for DRR because they are not required to create DRR. Alright. Then coming to non-banking financing companies, finance companies. Banking तो है ही. Certain non-banking finance companies and HFCs is housing finance companies. Okay. Certain companies are straight only created for financing for housing and dwelling purposes. So, वो companies which are regulated by the National Housing Bank, okay, those companies are also free or exempted from DRR. Other listed companies you all understand, no? Meaning the stocks of such companies are traded over the stock exchange. तो वो listed company हुआ, correct? Now you will think that अरे इनको याद कैसे रहे? इतना सब कुछ याद नहीं रखना. Of course, you need to know that if it is regulated by RBI, yes, or a national housing bank. So of course they are under already supervision. So there are lesser chances of they going wrong with things. So these companies are having enough sufficient cash and liquidity so that they need not create a DRR out of profits. Now, if we just come to this, there are certain unlisted companies. So, बनाएगा कौन? अगर सब exempt हो गए हैं, other listed companies also, then who is supposed to create DRR? It boils down to only unlisted companies. Okay, unlisted meaning the stocks are not traded over the stock exchange. Unlisted companies except NBFC and HFCs. Yeah. Correct? Because these are exempt. Listed or unlisted, exempt. So only unlisted companies, that too except NBFC and HFC, are supposed to create DRR. So just keep this in mind. इसका क्रक्स यही है. ये exempt, वो exempt, सब exempt, बस यही exempt नहीं है. Clear? Any doubts in this? I don't think so. But then if you have, then please post your comments. You know, इसमें होगा करना है कि नहीं, ऐसे कंपनी में करना है कि नहीं. You can just post your queries in the comment section. Alright? So this is the gist of which companies are supposed to create DRR. Clear about it? So this is as far as exemptions are concerned for DRR. Now there is one more requirement apart from DRR. DRR क्या है? Profits को अलग रखा है. लेकिन profit is not cash. Cash we need also cash to redeem, right? So to keep that in consideration, keeping that in consideration, the Companies Act has also laid down to create one more, there's one more regulation which is creation of debenture redemption investment. मतलब you need to set aside by purchasing certain investment, certain amount of cash which will be utilized only at the time of redemption of debentures. Alright, you cannot sell off those investments. Meaning company will purchase those investments, cash उसमें invest कर दिया. Why is it purchasing? Because it will need money to redeem debentures, right? So to not apply cash here and there, and then I'm not having enough cash at the time of redemption. To avoid this situation, the DRI requirement has been put in place. Alright, so the next thing we are discussing is what is DRI and how to create and how much to create DRI. Alright, so debenture redemption investment का ये है how much? At least, again, just like DRI, at least 15%. Of course, the company might choose to invest more also. At least 15% of the nominal value of debentures, but not debentures outstanding. There's a difference between total debentures outstanding and debentures to be redeemed during the year ending on 31st March the next year. Meaning, suppose today it is 1st April 2019. Suppose you need to redeem 5 lakh worth of debentures, okay, on 30th September 19, alright, and total outstanding debentures on this date is 7 lakhs, rupees 7 lakh debentures, total outstanding. I have 7 lakh debentures I have issued, but I am going to redeem only 5 lakhs on 30th September 2019. So now how much DRI am I supposed to create? 15% of nominal value of which amount? 7 lakhs or 5 lakhs? 5 lakhs, because this year, during this year, which is going to end on 31st March next year, 31st March next year meaning 31st March 20 को end करेगा ये year, उससे पहले है ये. Therefore, I need to have 15% of nominal value, 15% of 5 lakhs invested in DRI. Clear? And how do I make that entry? For where I purchase any other investment, debenture redemption investments को specific नाम देना होगा, because this investment I cannot sell before I redeem the debentures. So this debit to bank for purchasing and we will also liquidate it. We will sell it off just before the redemption. Of course, there are certain conditions. We'll come to that later. Bank account debit to DRI. Of course, you can also get certain interest on that. Suppose interest भी है तो इसमें ये हो जाएगा to DRI to interest on DRI. That's an income. We will receive that also, and total this amount will come to bank account. Easy है. Now coming to this one. When is it supposed to be created? When? How much you know, but when am I supposed to purchase these debenture redemption investment? When? Suppose this is the same thing. 1st of April hai. I know that I have to redeem on 30th September. So, I have to create a DRI on or before 30th April of this year. Today is 1st. 30th April से पहले ये investment हो जाना चाहिए. Because I am supposed to redeem during this year. Whenever I am redeeming just before 31st of March this year, I should have invested in DRI before on or before 30th April. Alright? So this is also mandatory. So समझ में आ गया DRI, how much to create? 15% of nominal value of debentures to be redeemed this year. Okay, this year means April से March के बीच में. And we need to create 15% on the nominal value on or before 30th April of this year itself. And these are the journal entries. Now, who is supposed? What type of company? Just like we discussed in DRR, which type of companies are supposed to create DRI? Of course, this also has changed. Last year तक कुछ rules अलग थे, अभी कुछ अलग है. Fine. So let us discuss the fresh rules. Now come to the exemptions. As in the case of DRR, all India financial institutions and banking companies are all exempted from purchasing debenture redemption investment also. ठीक? Clear है वहाँ तक. But it is not the same for listed and unlisted. उसका रूल थोड़ा अलग है. There, listed companies are not supposed to create DRR. But listed companies and all listed companies are supposed to create DRI. DRI चाहिए ही चाहिए. If it is a listed company, it has to invest in DRI, and whether it is NBFC, HFC or not, वहाँ पे कोई distinction नहीं है for listed companies. Okay, so if it's a listed company, DRI has to be created. DRR will not be created. DRI will be created. Yeah. Coming to unlisted companies, जिसका stock exchange में नहीं trade होता है. Unlisted companies except NBFCs and HFCs are supposed to create DRI also. DRR तो create करना ही है, right? They are also supposed to create or purchase DRI, unlisted companies. But if it is an NBFC or HFC, no need to create a DRI. बस यही है crux of the matter, right? Of course. Now coming to one more small little addition, which is convertible and non-convertible debentures. You all have done that in commerce, I guess. Convertible meaning debentures can be converted into share capital. So in that case, of course, loan I am converting into capital, so obviously I don't have to repay that. Correct? So repayment का चक्कर ही खत्म. So here in convertible debentures, of course, if your debentures are fully convertible, no DRR, no DRI, nothing, because we are not even redeeming it, right? So redemption में आता है ना ये सब question. So no DRR and no DRI. If it is non-convertible, DRR will be created and DRI will be created as per the requirements, what type of company it is. ठीक है ना? Non-convertible part. But there are certain debentures which are partly convertible also. बीच में है. Neither fully convertible nor fully non-convertible. Partly convertible है. So चलो. Whatever amount is convertible into capital, No DRR, no DRI. But which we cannot convert, meaning the non-convertible part, you will have to follow the DRR and DRI requirements as per the status of the company, type of the company. Simple here, correct? So this is on the non-convertible part, DRR and DRI requirements will apply. Convertible part में कुछ नहीं, because convertible debentures I told you can be converted into capital. So we are not redeeming it. So we don't need DRR and DRI on that. So this gives you the entire gist of all the rules and regulations that have changed, and these are the fresh and updated ones. Okay, so do not get confused with whatever is given in your books. Please rely on this, because this you can check in the council syllabus. Please refer, do not refer to the books, please, because books do have certain mistakes, whichever author, whichever publications, okay. Now, the council syllabus is your Bible. Please follow the syllabus, the new syllabus that is given by the council. Usme sare rules likhe hue hain. So you can just corroborate with that, and you can learn it by heart. Once this is done, journal entries are very, very simple, children, and we will be doing that in the next video. Till then, please do take care of yourself and keep practicing accounts and be thorough with the rules. Do subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed, and do not forget to press the like button before you leave. Thank you so much for watching.